Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, the incredible Linney. So what a fun period to jump into. Get to work with some of the great writers of all time, and obviously Wolf and Perkins, what a relationship. Talk to me about jumping into this period.
Oh no, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. My family's a literary family, and my father was a playwright from the South, so I know the sort of personality of a lot of those writers pretty well. I kind of grew up around them myself, so I loved it. It felt very familial to me.
One of the things I love is to see not only the relationship between Perkins and Wolf, but also the women behind the scenes. Talk to me about the constant battles that had to go on throughout these different relationships.
Well, the women in the movie, I think, represent typical women of that time. You were either in a marriage and raising your children and in charge of a household, or you were an artistic bohemian woman who had a difficult time with domestic life. The two hadn't joined yet. They sort of weren't allowed to join. You sort of had to make a choice to do one or the other. So she, Louise very much wanted to be an actress and wanted to be a writer, and she did the best she could, but I think there was, as much as she loved her daughters and loved that household, I think there was a deep dissatisfaction, and she was unfulfilled artistically.
Do you think it would be different in today's era versus back then for Louise?
Well, it depends on where she was living. If she was living in New York City, absolutely, it would be very different.
When you were looking at these literary rock stars and coming from a literary family, is it cool to think we're talking the words of Hemingway and Wolf?
Sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's nice to be in an erudite movie. It's nice to be in a movie that deals with language and respects language in a way that, that our country is moving farther and farther away from. I mean, we're now getting into a very visual way of communicating with each other. So to go back to like the height of the golden age of a sentence, is refreshing.